Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for Renaissance Periodization. Let's talk about food and diet labels that make you think it's healthy, but it's really not. So back in the 80s and 90s, when I was a child and then a teen, and you may have not been born yet or are already in your 60s, depending on who you are watching this channel, if someone asked you if you ate healthy, you kind of both knew what they meant. And that was like, you didn't eat a lot of junk food and you ate healthy. Everyone knew what that was. But nowadays, it's a bit more common for folks to have a little bit of a different concept of what healthy eating means. And a lot of times a diet coach or a trainer will be interacting with their client and being like, hey, you're here to get a program and a fat loss diet from me, a good training, coaching relationship is often a bunch of questions. And you go ahead, what is your diet like right now? So many people that I suspect in the 80s and 90s would not have answered like this now answer like, oh yeah, no, I eat really healthy. And you go, okay, what does that mean to you? Because it used to be, you would say a conundrum. Like, oh yeah, 500 pounds overweight, okay, 100 pounds overweight. And they're like, here's the thing, I eat healthy. And you're like, oh, gee whiz, thermodynamics doesn't work or some kind of weird hormone thing going on. That's a really vexing problem. But don't worry. A lot of times when they say I eat healthy, they mean a few things that aren't actually what they seem to be. Here's something they could mean. A lot of people think that eating organic and non-GMO, no genetically modified foods, is healthy. That if you're eating organic or non-GMO, you're eating healthy. To them, it's the same thing, or at least very overlapping category. That's how they think. Another one is vegan. People say, oh, I'm vegan, I eat healthy. Okay, interesting claim. We'll see if it stands up. Another one is gluten-free. People think gluten-free stuff means it's healthier. And if they eat mostly or all gluten-free, they're healthy. And then, of course, keto. If they're doing keto and restricting their carbs, they think, hey, that's already really healthy. And there's a bunch other of these labels that people use. Things they think demarcate healthy, things that are not actually demarcated healthy. The way I got this video idea, actually, full transparency, my wife and I were walking through Costco, and there are so many. This is like the funniest thing in the world, because Costco is a goddamn godsend of a store, because everything is in 4 packages, all in one cellophane wrapper, and each package is enough to feed a fucking elephant. And you're like, it's like $1 or something. You're like, what? How is this possible for them to make money on it? I'll take 5. And they had like a container of I think it was maybe chocolate roasted nuts or something. Unbelievable. It has 5,000 calories per handful. And it was organic, no GMO, gluten-free. And I fucking know the demographic they're going for is people are like, oh, I can have chocolate covered salted roasted cashews and still be healthy. Well, gee whiz, if I don't, how did I get fat? I'll explain. Huge thing that happens all the time. Let's look at these individually. Paint the picture. So organic, non-GMO. Direct studies show that on average, there is no more nutritive vitamin, mineral, phytochemical, fiber value to organically grown produce or organically farmed produce than there is on a statistical average level to conventionally grown or farmed produce. Same goes for genetically modified versus not. There is no reason to suspect through the literature that any of these are more obesogenic, more likely to gain you fat, or more likely to make you less healthy. Again, I want to state it really plainly. There is no compelling amount of evidence that shows that organic or non-GMO is healthier for you than conventional. It just doesn't exist. It's worse than it not existing. The studies have been done, and if you look at all the meta-analyses and comprehensive lit reviews together, the best picture they paint, as most of the medical organizations will tell you, and the dietetics organizations, is it doesn't seem to matter at all if you eat conventional or organic on the net balance. There's a few exceptions of odd foods here and there, which have way more nutrients organic or way more nutrients if they're GMO. Secondly, there is actually no theoretical relationship for why these things should be healthier. This is an interesting thing you'll get into. Someone's like, well, I eat all organic. And you go, well, yeah, that actually doesn't matter. And they go, oh, okay, hold on. I don't disbelieve you, but shouldn't it matter? Isn't like organic better? And then you just go down the rabbit hole. You go, why? And they go, well, like chemicals and stuff. Like, I got you. There's chemicals in the real food that's not organic that are poisoning you. Yes? And they're like, well, yeah. Like, okay, let's assume that's true. It's not. Let's assume it's true. In how many cases of chronic poisoning do you have an increase in body fat and body weight versus a decrease? I'll spill the beans, guys. Toxicologists are not debating this regularly. You're getting fucking poisoned, usually start unexplainable weight loss. It's not weight gain. On every theoretical establishment of organic and non-GMO versus conventional and GMO, there's no theoretical, biologically sound reason to expect these things to be less healthy or to expect them to gain you more body fat. It's just not a thing. So if you think organic or non-GMO is healthier, it is neither, as research confirms it healthier, nor is it theoretically even supposed to be healthier if you look at the actual theory behind food science and all that stuff. All right. What about vegan? It used to be that when you were vegan in, well, the 90s, when the whole thing kind of started, they didn't have anything for you. You had to make all your food yourself, which, vegan food was very restricted as to how much you could actually make of what. And then you ate not a ton of food, and you ate mostly plant-based foods that you made by yourself and homemade plant-based cuisine, which is, Jesus Christ, there's not a lot of that you're going to eat. It's fine. It's food. It fills you up. You go to your hippie convention or whatever vegans do. I'm kidding, vegans. Stay calm. Though you never really do stay calm, do you? See you in the comments. And so at the end of the day, it's kind of like, okay, those people were really skinny because that vegan food back then was just not mass market. Okay. But capitalism, oh, it's smart. And it goes, no, there's vegans now. And mostly they're upper middle class, wealthy people that have jobs and they live in the inner cities and shop at Whole Foods. Guess what? I know they want junk food, vegan junk food. One of my favorite cheat foods is this double fudge, triple sex brownie thing that's the fucking size of it's just, you can kill someone with this thing. It's like a brownie loaf, but serves one, and it is available at Whole Foods. And proudly, right on the cover, it's vegan. Look, I'm not a vegan. Vegans are dope. Morally much more defensible than the rest of us savages that eat meat. That being said, I'm not trying to buy vegan shit. Are you fucking kidding me? I could care less. I don't buy it because it's vegan. I buy it because it's better than the non-vegan treats. It's that good. It tastes good. And guess what? Oil is vegan. So it has so much tasty, drippy, gooey, brownie oil flowing down, and sugar is also vegan, by the way. It turns out you don't really need to have animal products in very many baked goods to make them unbelievably high calorie, terrible for your health if you overeat them all the time, and incredibly delicious so you just don't really want to stop eating them. Ever since the introduction of vegan junk food, vegans have been ballooning in size. Used to be in the 90s when someone was skinny and had weird colored hair and looked like a leftist, you'd be like, I bet she's a vegan. And you were probably right. Maybe not probably, but a higher probability than average. Pick the vegan nowadays. Can you pick vegans out of a crowd? I mean, yeah, the purple hair sure, tells us a little something, but honestly, not on body size, not anymore. There's vegans all kinds of shapes. Why? Because vegan junk food is real and people fall for it, bro. They go, hey, I'm vegan. I eat vegan. I'm healthy. And I know tons of personal trainers who've had their vegan clients do blood work. And the blood work comes back. And the doctor's like, I'm not going to say you're going to die soon. I just want to ask you if you have an insurance policy on yourself for your family. That's all I'm asking. Some of these people, terrible blood work. And they're like, but I'm vegan. It's like, why don't you describe your typical diet? You're like, wow, I wake up in the morning and I have chorizo. It's not real chorizo sausage, though I do love the Hispanics. They're great. I have the fake meat chorizo, and you look at the macros, and it's like 5 grams of protein, sweet. 40 grams of carbs, interesting for a sausage, but I suppose it's not an animal product. 15 grams of fat. You're like, holy shit, it's just 3 more times fat than protein. They're like, well, yeah. But they're so good. And they're vegan. Yeah, with you so far. You could, of course, have potatoes with those. You're like, okay, yeah, those are vegan. Olive oil, it's all fried in there. Amazing, vegan still. Later, I'll have a snack of like, I don't eat like Cheerios or whatever because they're not vegan, but like I have the Penguin Puffs cereal that, I'm the political inclination to eat those, and they're amazing. And they're also vegan. And I have like a box or whatever, but they're vegan. And the list goes on and on. And I can tell you why you're fucking super out of shape and insanely overweight and unhealthy. You just eat like delicious, amazing vegan junk food all the time. If you want to be a vegan, you can eat in a healthy way. And vegans are some of the healthiest people around when they're eating to be healthy. But great news, if you're a vegan, you can have all the bullshit you want nowadays, just like the rest of us. And that means vegan no longer means healthy. That's just it. Next, gluten-free. This one's completely insane. There's probably just one group of people that need gluten-free products. It's people who have celiac disease. And if they have gluten, they basically shit blood. If you're not diagnosed with celiac disease, there may be a small probability that some small, tiny percent of you have gluten intolerance, but not full-blown celiac, so that maybe if you stay away from it, your digestive system goes decently okay. Maybe. They're not even sure that second group exists. First group for sure, and that's 97 to 100% of everyone who needs to be avoiding gluten. The rest of us, gluten is just a protein found in wheat. It does nothing magical. It's not extra special. It doesn't make you sick. It doesn't make you gain fat. It doesn't bloat you up. It doesn't do diddly dick. And you've never known about it your whole life until someone's like, you do gluten because I heard it's bad. And you're like, me? Never. I'd never get caught doing something terrible like that. I'd push a kid on the railroad tracks before I'd eat gluten. I'm a good person. I'm like, okay, great. Well, here's this gluten-free thing of fudge that you can eat with a spoon. You're like, I'm healthy. Gee whiz. Not how it works. Here's another little interesting fabric to this. If you are celiac disease person, if you have celiac disease and you eat gluten, your digestive system acutely for hours/days breaks so badly that you cannot digest anything else you're taking in. And you just poop it all out exactly the way it came in. This is very bad news because people with celiac can die of malnutrition. They used to back in the day, so you couldn't hold anything down. If you think you're celiac or think that gluten insensitivity is really a thing, let's say it is, it might be. You don't get to say, well, I just cut out gluten and I lost a whole bunch of weight and I got healthier. Bullshit. If you are sensitive to gluten, you have celiac disease, gluten is your one-stop shop for losing as much weight as you want in the way that's going to fucking kill you at some point. People who have celiac do not blow up because of gluten. The people who have celiac disease start out skinny and frail and fucking sad and weak and almost dead. And then you take the gluten out of their diet, you feed them good stuff that is not poisonous to them because gluten basically is, and they gain weight in the best possible way. So the idea that gluten is this thing you drop into food that makes it unhealthy, makes you gain weight is entirely, first of all, irrelevant. And if it was relevant, backwards. It was backwards. It's like when you hear some people say like, yeah, I'm taking these digestive enzymes to lose weight. Like, hold on. So you digest the food better. It goes into your bloodstream more. It makes you fatter. You should hope you're not digesting your food. If you're seeing an entire burrito come out of your ass unchanged, like, oh, I guess none of that went into my bloodstream. I'm going to lose weight. And you would be correct. Enhanced digestion does not make you lose weight. It makes you gain weight. Just the same way, if you are actually not tolerant to gluten and you remove gluten from your diet, your probability of gaining weight goes up. So a lot of people who are staying away from gluten, they have this thing all wrong to begin with. Lastly, keto. There are many ways to do keto that's super healthy. But I'll tell you this. You're eating bacon. You're eating cheese. You're eating ranch dressing. Health me up, baby. It sounds like a fucking health food store. People eat low carb, eat the worst shit in the world, bro. I've seen people, many, on the internet, there's this thing going on where a bunch of people would get like McDonald's and Burger King burgers, and they would take out, they'd leave in the lettuce sometimes. They'd leave the 2 or 3 slices of cheese and 2 or 3 burgers. They take the buns off, throw them away, or they order them without the buns. And they'd eat that fucking burger, cheesy, gooey mess with mayo and shit on it. Be like, hey man, fucking keto, baby, carnivore lifestyle. Oh, word up. God, you're real healthy now. You're way on your way to health food. If you have a client that's like, yeah, I eat healthy. And you're like, what would you eat last? Like, I went to Wendy's. I got like 2 triple double burgers or whatever. And I fucking took the buns off. You're like, oh, wow. You're so healthy. The paragon of health, in fact. And they're like, really? No, damn it. These are all bullshit, fake health labels. The reason they are so successful in the marketing world is people want two things. They're not complex things. Thing one, to feel good about themselves, that they're not wrecking their fucking bodies. Thing two, to eat delicious, tasty, cure-all junk food that's so good. We can combine them by just making some shit. Non-GMO, organic. You want to buy the fucking toasted chocolate almond supreme, but it has a label on it that just says, brought to you by Fat Fuck Foods, you fat fuck. And you're like, shit, I want them. I'm not saying this. Then you walk a little further down the Costco aisle and you see chocolate toasted hazelnut supreme cluster snack. You guys know those nut cluster snacks? They're so fucking good. And it's like core ingredients, calories, fats, sugars, honey. And you're like, okay, it's not that. But nuts are healthy, right? And you look right under the fucking name, organic, non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, and now somehow they're keto too. You got to be a fucking idiot not to buy them. You get the win-win of you eat tasty junk food like you've always wanted to and always have, and that's why you're fat. And you get to have the, moral superiority to yourself of being a good, healthy eating person. 3 fucking cheers. You win it all. Except the thing you don't win at all is actual health and fat loss. And when you're ready to do that, you actually eat healthy. What does that look like? Actual healthy eating looks like this. You eat a diet high in veggies, fruits, whole grains, lean protein options, though I will say whole eggs in a calorie controlled context, and whole dairy products like whole milk and cheeses are also very healthy for you. And healthy fats like almonds and peanuts and avocados and olive oil and canola oil and shit like that. That is actual healthy food. And almost any combo of these foods is healthy, so that if you eat a whole crap load of lean meats and a whole bunch of olive oil, you're keto and you're healthy as fuck. If you eat a crap load of veggies and fruits and make sure just to get enough protein, you're vegan, healthy as fuck. And everything in between. You hit your enough protein, enough fiber, enough plant nutrients, phytochemicals and things like that, and you hit enough of your fats daily, and you're fucking golden. You don't need to eat the same diet as everyone else. You can be varied, but it has to be built on core, whole food, calorie controlled, not hyper palatable ingredients. So don't fall for the shit. And if you're a trainer or a diet coach, when people tell you, or even if you're just like a person that knows what they're doing in training and diet, you go to family occasions, Thanksgiving, they're like, well, how'd you get so lean, Jim? And you're like, well, I try to eat healthy. And Uncle Carl's like, yeah, me too. I love eating healthy. You're like, really, Uncle Carl? Okay. What are you eating? Don't fall for it, because it's fucking nonsense. So what's he going to tell you? Organic, vegan, gluten-free, keto, whatever the new craze is that lets you still cheat your ass off and eat a bunch of junk food and then think you're healthy. Doesn't work like that. Eat a core of healthy foods. And my personal advice, which you probably don't have to take, when you eat some bullshit, eat that shit. Get you a real ho-ho, one that Little Debbie made. Scott the Video Guy, Little Debbie doesn't make ho-hos technically, huh? I would never call Little Debbie a ho-ho. Hostess. I like the hostess as kind of like this ephemeral woman that does not really like, she's this female hostess. She's there, but I don't need like Little Debbie's face in my, I feel like she's judging me. Though her oatmeal cream pies, unbelievable. Just got it going on. In any case, when you eat junk food, just eat the real shit. I'm kidding. You can eat the vegan shit too. It's delicious. Don't pretend you're healthy when you're not. That's all I'm trying to say. See you in the comments. Like, subscribe to all that YouTube stuff. Peace, homies. What's that? Oh, that's right. Scott the Video Guy says we have a member section where we do way nerdier shit. And if you want to be in there, actually, interestingly enough, Scott the Video Guy will like put up every now and again on our YouTube, like our feed, like, hey, like we have a new members video or whatever. And a lot of times on YouTube, like not so nice folks will get in the comments and start shitting on stuff. And you're like, yeah, that's not for everyone. A lot of people just randomly came out and were like, by the way, this is worth the money. And look, I don't know if it's worth the money. I don't pay for the member section. Fuck if I know what goes on in there. I'm kidding. but I don't pay for it. Maybe it's not worth the money. A lot of people say it is, and they're the people in there. So give it a thought and click on things, buy them. God damn it. See you guys next time.